Let's begin. Chance is a hardworking student with a passion for her mom's cooking. So she thought, why not apply to the nutrition department at college? So people can love my mom's food and I can make it famous. Her father is a devoted man who loves his family, and her best friend has been with her since childhood. They both saw their acceptance results and were thrilled as each got into the department they wanted. On the first day of college, Suum also joined her department. He's secretly in love with her, but acts like a best friend, just waiting for the right moment. Suddenly, they ran into Jin, their friend from school, and the three decided to form a close-knit group. One day, they were leaving a lecture when the popular clique of guys passed by, surrounded by girls from every direction. In the commotion, someone bumped into her and her phone fell. Poor girl went crawling on her stomach like a lizard to get it, only for one of the guys to step on it, shattering it completely. She ran after them, aiming to grab one by the hair, but ended up grabbing the wrong person. Someone important at the university. She got scolded so harshly it could last her a year. When she told her friends, they had no idea who those popular guys were and why they had a crowd around them. Then, Shiji from the journalism department came along and said, "You guys must be new here," and took them on a tour to explain who those guys were. It turns out these guys are famous for their looks, charisma, and their unbeatable skill in a game called Bridge. No one has been able to beat them yet. So naturally, everyone wants to join them. First up is Miso, sharp and witty, with a killer sense of humor. Then there's Shimon, the mysterious one that no one can figure out. It's hard to tell his front from his back. Next is Woozy, a music lover and a chill guy. Lastly, there's the most important one, the gang leader. Smart, handsome, and can get money out of thin air. He made 1,000,000 yuan at just 18. He also plays a game called Bagram, making people fear him. Long story short, no one dares challenge them unless they win. One of the four sends them a joker card, as they're used to people trying to challenge them. But don't let just anyone in easily. If someone does manage to beat them, their punishment is intense. They might make you clean all semester, or stand in the fountain and embarrass yourself, or even lock you in the lab at night. Devilish stuff, really. Once Chance, feeling brave, tried to approach Dao Ming to demand an apology for breaking her phone, but he told her, "Stay away, sweetheart, or you'll get soaked. That haircut of yours doesn't exactly make me take you seriously." So she was bringing a cake for her friend Jin's birthday, but suddenly she nearly tripped, and the cake ended up all over his face. Our girl grabbed Jin's arm to keep from falling, but Mr. Curly Hair lost his temper and made a huge deal out of it. When she tried to apologize, he shoved her. But with Chance taking her bravery pills, she started giving him a piece of her mind, calling him Big Head and saying, "We're already putting up with your attitude. Now you're taking it out on this poor girl?" He grabbed her by the collar and warned, "Don't say things you'll regret." True enough, he later placed a joker card in her locker. She went ballistic, as she hadn't expected to get into this kind of trouble so early on, wishing he and his friends would turn into monkeys with nose hairs growing as long as their arms. Woozy, who was nearby, asked her, "Would you be happy if they turned into hairy monkeys?" She apologized, but he hadn't meant to scare her and walked away with a smirk, like he was some kind of actor in a drama. Back home, her mom asked her to deliver a food order, only to find out that Mr. Curly Hair was the one who'd ordered it. Of course, he only did it to flaunt that he was helping her family, but she knew he was just bullying her and wouldn't let him drag her mom's cooking into it. She told him he thought he was smart and sophisticated, but in reality, he was just a drain on society. He couldn't take it and threw the food back at her. She left crying, and while washing her clothes, two guys came to bother her. But Woozy told them to leave her alone, and he comforted her as she cried, asking why Dao Ming was treating her this way. He then stood on his hand and told her, "If you feel like crying, stand on your hand, and the tears won't come out." The next day, she went to college, seeing no one but Dao Ming. She gave him a kick, which the popular clique thought was hilarious, and wrapped him up like a mummy. Miso even recorded a video saying, "This is Miso from Egypt reporting our latest discovery, a mummy of a guy who got kicked by a girl shorter than him. Long live Egypt." When Dao Ming came to, he fumed. "This is the worst day of her life. I'm going to make her pay." But Woozy, their sweetheart, told him, "Dude, two guys harassed her after she left your place. What did you expect her to do?" Then they left him there, wrapped up. The next day, she passed by the music room by chance and saw Woozy playing. So she went in to return his handkerchief and thank him. But he wouldn't take it back. so she suggested he could see it again on the rooftop. He replied that he wasn't planning on going up there anymore, acting all cool as if he wasn't going to end up as the third wheel in the end. Later, as she left the university, she saw bodyguards coming to take her to Mr. Curlyhair, who wanted to apologize. But heaven help her, it was like she'd walked into Madame Fazia's salon. One was massaging her, another dressing her up, and yet another styling her hair, as if he wanted to make her into a whole new person. She finished and waited outside. And when she saw a picture of him with his clique, her eyes lingered on Woozy. Just then, Dao Ming walked in, crossed his legs, and asked, "Are you interested in Woozy or what?" "Forget it, he's not for you." She replied, "He can belong to whoever he wants." Dao Ming then offered, "If you agree to be my girlfriend and stick with me at college, I'll buy you clothes and a new phone." Thinking he was a billionaire, just throwing money around, along with everything coming from his side, and gestured with her shoe. The next day, as he passed by, he told his friends, "You know, Chance is obsessed with my teddy bears." They didn't believe him and joked, "Since she's so innocent, let's prank her and put cockroaches in her locker or scare her in the bathroom." Shimon and Mizo felt that was childish, and Woozy didn't respond at all, clearly not interested in playing such foolish games. At the cafe where she works, Shimon and Woozy came in to order something, and she was stunned, completely frozen, even after they had left. She was staring at a map on the wall, trying to figure out which country it was. Woozy suddenly said, "That's Paris." And this time they actually talked and even joked a bit. They walked down together from the rooftop, and when her friends saw them, they told her not to get her hopes up, because he's in love with someone named Jing. Later that night, she saw Woozy at the bus stop, looking at a picture of Jing, who is apparently a famous actress. He turned to her and said she was beautiful, then kissed her on the cheek, leaving her totally lost in her daydreams, convinced he might actually like her. But as she walked by Dao Ming, "Can't you see I'm passing by?" She replied sarcastically, "Excuse me, I'm just grateful you passed by safely," noticing he had even changed his awful hairstyle. He said, "I did this new look for you." Well, a monkey's still a monkey, no matter what it tries to do. Her friend then came over and asked what was going on, and she shrugged it off, saying she was just laughing at a certain someone's ridiculousness. Just then, someone told Dao Ming that Jing had arrived at the school. She's the girl Woozy is in love with, and of course, the whole popular clique knows her. They all rushed to greet her, and when she hugged Woozy, it was clear he was smitten. The next day, she saw them together and decided to focus on her studies and forget about him. But Dao Ming wouldn't leave her alone. He asked her to come with him, but she declined, as she was going to eat with her friend Xiao. Each time he saw her with Xiao, he got angrier, until he finally sent Xiao a joker card to challenge him. She grabbed the card from Xiao and told Dao Ming, "Solve whatever issue you have with me without involving my best friend." He asked, "What do you even see in that idiot?" She replied, "He's better than you. At least he has a heart and a brain, unlike you." One day, as she was going to eat in the cafeteria, she saw Dao Ming and tried to avoid looking at him, but he came straight over. She quickly got up with her food, only to accidentally bump into someone who then yelled at her. Dao Ming stepped in to get the guy away and told her, "If you were with me, you wouldn't be dealing with this." He held her by the cheeks, but then Woozy came to help her and pulled her away. Dao Ming grabbed her other arm and asked Woozy if he liked her. Woozy just told him to let go, challenging him, and they both got personal. Dao Ming finally released her, saying to Woozy, "If you walk away with her, I'll consider you no longer my friend." Woozy took her away, and in the restroom, Jing helped her change into clean clothes. When she came out, Zhao was feeling guilty for not being able to protect her, and decided to start learning martial arts so no one would bother her again. Zhao then suggested they travel to another city for the upcoming week off, but she refused because she didn't have money for it. He assured her not to worry, as his family has a villa there and would be happy to host her. At home, she was lying on the bed when Dao Ming showed up to check on her. Her family was impressed by his looks and height, even though she told them to kick him out, because he was the reason she was in this mess. Her family, however, didn't listen and invited him to sit and eat with them. He was polite, quite unlike his usual self, as if he wasn't the same person. Zhao was the same guy who gave her trouble day and night. As she walked him out to see him off, he asked what she'd do over the break and suggested she join him. She declined. saying she couldn't afford a ticket, but he insisted he'd pay for her. Who do you think you are to pay for me? Besides, I'm already traveling with Xiao, so just drop it. The next day, she really did travel with Xiao and was amazed by his family's villa. They then went out to ride his father's boat. Feeling a bit overwhelmed by how big and expensive it looked, she asked if it was really theirs, but he clarified they'd actually be taking the smaller one. Just then, the popular clique appeared out of nowhere. Like they always do, Jing invited her to join them at a party, but she hesitated, not wanting to cause any drama. Jing insisted, even taking her to find a dress. At the party, Dao Ming couldn't stop glancing at her, and eventually approached. But suddenly the lights went out, and she accidentally fell on him. She quickly got up, hoping she could disappear, because it was her first time getting close to anyone like that. The next day, she was passing by the group, and Shimin teased her. Annoyed, she brushed him off, but Dao Ming chimed in, saying she had intentionally fallen on him. She wasn't interested in their opinions, she just didn't want Woozi to misunderstand. But Woozi simply told her, "Honestly, I don't care whether you kissed him on purpose or not," so she rushed off.